Welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would talk about having a spiritual practice while being a parent. So I saw a video on this very topic a week or so ago, I think, and I thought it was a great topic to talk about. And if I remember, hopefully I'll remember, or if I can find the video rather, I'll link it at the bottom because I don't remember the YouTuber's name, so I'll have to do some kind of search or whatever. Hopefully I'll come across it. And I've cut my hair. I cut my hair, which in part I wanted it cut short. I actually want it cut shorter than this. I want like a really short tapered haircut, but for right now I'm not going to because well, actually, you know what? Kind of deals with part of this video topic. Children. So after I had my youngest, like, it was shortly after I returned to work, so sometime in February maybe, I started losing hair. My hair started to fall out, which happened with my eldest daughter, but not to this degree. So like around my hairline, you'd see that I lost hair. I think some people try to make me feel better about it, so they keep saying, oh, but you don't really notice it. You're the one that notices it, making a big thing out of it, but whatever. Anyways, so I was reading that one of the things that helps is to shorter hair, because the longer the hair is, the more of the hairs that shed wrap around the longer hairs. And so then that tugs out when you're combing out, whatever. So anyways, I cut my hair short. So it's comes up to, I think, maybe here now, whereas before, stretched out, it was down the middle of my back. So it's a little easier to maintain too. It doesn't take me near as long on wash days and things like that. But anyways, that's not what this is about. So, maintaining a spiritual practice while having children is very difficult. My oldest, it was starting to get to the point where with my oldest, I was able to find time again, but then I was going through this, I don't know, I guess maybe phase or wherever, where I guess I was experiencing like spiritual burnout. So I wasn't doing much in the way of practicing. I would thank the God and Goddess for all that they have helped and guided my life, how they've helped and guided my life, but I really wasn't practicing, you know. Not that I had this heavy practice to begin with. I mean, I wasn't doing ritual on a consistent basis or anything like that, because it is hard with kids, even as they get older, you know. And like I said, as my daughter was getting older, it was getting to the point where I was starting to be able to do such things, but then I started to experience burnout and so on and so forth. Now with the baby, it's very hard. I have little to no time, and I definitely discovered this in doing my shadow work, and when it came time that I wanted to specifically use for ritual, or working with one of the goddesses, and the book that I'm reading, which I'm reading another book actually in conjunction with it, which I'll talk about that probably in another video or at another time. But I found that it's not where I can say, okay, on this day I'm going to do this ritual, or I'm going to do this spot or whatever, because I couldn't, because I never knew what was going to come up. And there are times when, even though my husband tries to help, my daughter's very strong-willed, and if she doesn't want you in particular, she lets you know about it, and she'll let you know until the person she wants comes. So like my husband, and you know, God bless his heart, you know, he really tries to comfort her when she's upset, and a lot of times she don't want none of it. She wants me, and I try to give him that time, because he always accuses me of rushing in and taking her before he can get a chance to soothe her. But I know her, and I know what she wants, and she doesn't want him right then and there. She wants me. You know, she fights sleep, which is another thing. A lot of times I prefer doing ritual at night. Well, that's difficult because one, my altar is in the bedroom, and that's the only private place I have in the house. So, like right now, I can do this because everyone is out except for my daughters, because they were off today from school. So, well, my daughter starts first grade tomorrow, and she was going to a summer camp at my youngest daughter's daycare. Well, the camp is closed today. The daycare is closed today. So we were home today, and my stepson was home for most of the day today too. So I'm actually doing this right now in between when my youngest is chilling. She's watching her favorite show, which is Shushaby Baby. I bought a DVD for her. So, but that's what I mean. You know, I have to take the time when it presents itself to do things. And that's very difficult when it comes to ritual work. It's very hard to find that time, that specific, okay, I want to do this on this day at this time. That really very rarely happens for me. Even if my stepson is not home, say he works late or he's hanging out late, it still doesn't coincide on times when I might want to do a ritual or whatever it is. I really don't do spell work. I very rarely do spell work. I'm not saying I don't at all, but I very rarely do. So most of it is just, you know, me doing ritual. And like I said, it's very hard with a baby. So I found that instead of trying to have set times to do ritual, I am not focusing on ritual now. So even with my shadow work, I'm not focusing on ritual. What I am doing is studying each goddess each month like I had intended to do, and then I intended to do a ritual, you know, work with that goddess during the dark moon phase. So not just during the dark moon, but like that phase between the dark moon and the new moon, you know, the dark moon going into the new moon, whatever. But like I said, that, you know. So what I do is, and in the book, the rituals are mainly group rituals, so I would like have to tweak it anyway. I have written down rituals or how I would like to do the rituals, so maybe at some point I do get the opportunity. But for right now, what I do is I study the goddess, and I learn all I can about her outside of that book. And I try to get to know her, and I try to understand what knowing her, what that brings up in me. That's pretty much how I do it. When we had the blue moon, I really wanted to do ritual for the blue moon, but I couldn't. So I opted for being able to at least stand outside for a few minutes and look up at the blue moon and appreciate it and soak in its energies and, you know, contemplate it, and that's it. And that's pretty much what my practice boils down to nowadays, is contemplation. A few minutes of quiet when I can get it, where I give thanks to the God and Goddess, or I contemplate my path, or, you know, whatever it is, whatever's happening. So that's basically how it goes now. With my oldest daughter, she's at an age now where I don't think I would incorporate her in ritual with me, but I have begun teaching her about the Sabbats, each Sabbat at a time. So it's not like we're going to learn about the Sabbats today. You know, it's more for midsummer. What we did was we cooked dinner together, and I explained to her what the day meant, why this day was special, and why we were preparing the foods that we were preparing. For Lunasa, didn't really go down like that because she was not in the mood to help cook that day until the very end when dinner was pretty much almost done. So, but I did talk to her about why this day was special and why we were having, you know, why we were celebrating. So basically, being a parent, I have learned, and a parent of two, I've learned that my time is very limited. And I always knew it was with one, but with two, it's even much more so, because while a lot of my time is focused on the baby, I don't want my oldest daughter to feel any kind of neglect. So even though I'm tired, because you're constantly tired too, especially with two kids. But even though I'm tired, I always make time for her. You know, we do some projects together, art projects and things like that. So, you know, right now, as far as my practice goes, I try to incorporate her at least by teaching her about certain things, like topics. You know, like if it comes up, I teach her about, you know, certain topics. You don't need religion to teach morality, you know, so, but that's kind of intertwined with my faith. Well, morality is intertwined with every faith, but how I view things gets intertwined with how I teach her. So, yeah, so I've learned that you need patience. Be patient with your practice if you have children. Because it's very easy to get frustrated. It's very easy to get frustrated with, you know, you want to do this, but you can't. You know, that time is like, okay, today no, baby is having a fit. She's not having it. And by the time she sleeps, you're ready to pass out. You know, and obviously you shouldn't do ritual if you're exhausted. I mean, at least in my opinion, you know, so, so yeah, the key thing is not to feel frustrated. Just find ways to alter, you know, or roundabout. I mean, it's not going to be forever. It might be a few years even. You know, it might be a few years before I can really do ritual how I want or anything like that. You know, it could be a few months. She could be satisfied with hanging with her father, you know. So, she's talking to the TV right now. So, but anyways, I wanted to come on. I wanted to do this video because I haven't seen a lot of videos on spiritual practice, you know, or how is your spiritual practice evolving or happening with children, because I think that's a very important topic. You know, as a mom who did not grow up pagan, that's something I would love to hear about. So, and if any of you have any suggestions or anything you want to add, please feel free. If you make video responses, that'll be great. Let me know. So that's basically it. So thank you for watching, and blessed be.